Hey guys, hope you are doing great. Maxim here, and in this video I'm gonna walk you through step by step on how to connect your Clerk authenticated users to your own database of choice. In this particular case, we're gonna be seeing how to connect it to Supabase, but you can do it with pretty much any other database with just slight adjustments. And also how to actually retrieve the Google OAuth authentication key from your users that signed up with Clerk Authentication, and also get all this information in your database. It's gonna be a pretty long tutorial, so also if you have not yet watched the first video of me in this Clerk series where I show you how to actually set up Clerk and get your users authenticated in their user management system, then please go and watch it. The link will be in the description. If you're already familiar with Clerk and you're looking exactly to connect it to your database, that's the right video to be in. And if you want to code along with me and actually progress step by step and learn how to do it, then please go to this GitHub repository Clerk2 database, and this is the starting point of our application. And from here we're gonna build up code to ensure that we have everything ready to get our users to the database. If you don't want to code along or learn, but you just want a ready-to-use solution, then the actual medical card GitHub repository is right for you. You can just clone it, and it has all the logic, and at the end of the day, the endpoint where we will come is exactly this. So now let me just do you a quick demo, and I also walk you step by step which steps we're actually taking, right? So let's go here to medical card, let's hit register, continue with Google, and let's select this one. So now we are getting here to the dashboard, really pretty one. I just finished doing it, and as you can see in my Supabase, we got the users, we got the image URL Clerk user ID, created it, updated it. We also have here deleted it, and we are having the Gmail access token. In this case, we're gonna be seeing exactly this from Google Authentication. So guys, the steps that we need to take to actually make it all happen. Oh, that's a lot. Here is also a text guide. If you want to read it, I will link it up in the description. But what we're gonna do is to first set up Ngrok. Ngrok is basically a service that helps you host your development server so that you can test different integrations. If, for example, in this particular case, we will be testing webhooks because we will be getting the data from our users, from our Clerk, to our database using Clerk Webhooks. Okay. We're also gonna implement Swix, which is used by Clerk for the protection. We also go to Google console and create credential here, specifically our authentication client ID. We're gonna implement and sync it up all with our Clerk. Write some additional code, set up Prisma as well, and then get it running. Okay. So guys, let's go. Let's go first to Ngrok. And I already have it set up, but it's basically nothing crazy. You just go here to the web page, you create an account, and then here is a setup guide. So if you're on Mac, please hit this, it will be pre-installed, and then you need to copy this code, go to your terminal, and get it running. So I already have it saved, but you'll have it saved to your configuration file, okay? So now what we need to actually do is let's go here to the domains, and here I already created a domain, but basically you can hit okay, I need a subscription. You hit new domain, and then you open it up and you press here start a tunnel. So you're gonna copy this, then you go to your code, you run npm run dev, you start your local server, okay, and then you open a new terminal and you paste it in. So you put 3000, and here you click this link. Yeah, so in my case it's quick mastiff Vorsi Ngrok free app. Let's open it up and see what we have. So as you can see, we have our development server, right? And let's actually go here and copy the whole link, okay? Then we go to our Clerk that you already have if you watched my last video. We go to webhooks and let's run add endpoint, okay? We pass it here, and here I also gonna specify API webhooks clerk, a specific endpoint. Okay. Now here we scroll down and we can see subscribe to events. So here I'm gonna hit user because I want to track user created, user deleted, user upgraded. Yeah, but but you can do pretty much anything: email created, organization, whatever you want. Yes, there are a bunch of different parameters, but let's stick with user. Okay, so created, deleted, updated, and let's hit create. Perfect. Now what we need from here is actually this sign-in secret. Yeah, it will be right here, and you just copy it. You go, sorry, to your env.local, and you pass it right here, Clerk Webhook secret. Okay, so now what we want to do is to actually get our Google authentication key. In this specific case, I will be showing you how to do it for Gmail, how to get access to your user's Gmail. But even if you don't want specific access to additional data, but you just want to keep it simple and standard, you still need to do it, because whenever you will go to production, you cannot just go with basic clerk. Yeah? Because if I here decline the use custom credentials and hit save, then here will be shared credentials, and that's not a good practice. We cannot go production like this. So we need to use custom credentials, and here I will show you exactly how to create client ID, client secret, and how to add all this stuff. Okay, so let's go here to console cloud Google, and I will create a new project. Okay, so let's go create new project. I will call it YouTube demo. You can call it whatever you prefer. Location I will not specify. Create. Okay, it's getting created. I'll get to you back in a second. Okay, it's done. Let's hit select project. So now we are switching to this one, and let's go and click here on this. Let's go and click here on these 3 lines, navigation menu, and let's go to API services and go specifically to credentials. So now here we're gonna create credentials. Okay, and here we select authentication client ID. To create an authentication client ID, you must first configure your consent screen. I configure my consent screen. So now let's continue here. I will select external, hit create. Now app name, I will write YouTube demo. User support email, I will select mine. App logo, you can browse or you don't need to. App domain. Now here we need to specify our domain. So in my case it will be localhost. No, it will be http localhost 3000. Okay, perfect. That we don't need. Developer contact information. I will just specify my email. Okay, perfect. Now save and continue. Okay, now we are selecting scopes. So standardly there are these 3 scopes, but you can also go to this link, which is developers.google.com, and you can see, for example, here Gmail API auth scopes. You can see a bunch of different API scopes for Gmail specifically. You can access for Google BigQuery or for anything you need, right? But what we will be using in this tutorial is this HTTPS Google APIs.com auth Gmail read only. So what it allows us is to go inside the user's Gmail and read the emails. So we can open the emails and read the content, but we cannot write emails or we cannot delete emails, whatever. We can only read. Okay, so let's go here and let's actually add manual scopes. Yeah, so we're gonna paste here and add to table. Great, and we're gonna select these 3 that are standard. Let's go update. Okay, sounds good to me. So here are restricted scopes, and the application with such scopes will need to pass through test. So here we'll also enable a testing email, okay? But if you don't want to go inside the user's email, I mean, you can just select the basic 3 ones, and then you don't need any testing period. So save and continue. Now test users, okay? So I'm gonna add test users, which will be emiliomaxim@gmail.com, and I will also add let's add Maxim Lamin@gmail.com. Perfect. So here are our 2 test users. Save and continue. So only these email accounts will be able to access our application. For all the rest, it will be blocked until the application is verified by the test. So here is the summary: external, YouTube demo, whatever. All the stuff as we defined. 2 test users. You can cap up to 100. Perfect. So now it's created. Let's go back to our dashboard. Great. Now let's go back to our credentials here. Sorry, I will move it right here. Okay, let's go to our credentials, and let's hit create credentials. Authentication client. Application type, we'll select web application. I give it a name YouTube demo. You can name it whatever you want. YouTube demo. And now we need to specify authorized JavaScript's origins. So here I'm gonna pass HTTP localhost 3000, and here authorized redirect URIs. We'll go back to our clerk, and I will show you once again. You hit social connections, then you go to Google, you press the settings button, and here you hit enable custom credentials, and here is our authorized redirect URI. So we're gonna copy this and put it right here. Hit create. Okay, so now we received our client ID, which we copy, and we go to our dashboard and input it here. Then we receive our client secret, which we copy, we go and we put it here. And as scopes, we also go back to here, we select our read only, and we go and add it right here and hit save. So now we have our custom logic set up. Let's go to the next step. Okay, now let's actually go to our database. I will move myself a little bit here and get all the necessary stuff to our .env files that we need, right? So you create your database. Actually, I'm gonna delete this table at all. Okay, let's go to project settings here. Let's hit API. From here, we take this project URL. We go back to our .env.local, and we substitute, I mean, here I have it already put, but you put here next public Supabase URL and put it right here. Then you need to go and take your unknown public key and put it right here near your next public Supabase unknown key. Hit enter. Perfect. Now let's go to .env files, and here we're gonna go to database and we're gonna copy this connection string. So here it will be your password. So please, when you are creating a database, I tell you already, save your password, please. So copy this and go put it in direct URL and database URL. Please put it also in quotations. And now here is an important part. If you see here, you see 6543 Postgres, and that's exactly what was not allowing me to get the data in my database. So here, instead of 6543, you need to specify 5432. And here, what's the difference between direct URL and database URL is a direct URL is short form, and database URL we also include here this slash $PG bouncer true. And that's it. So we just need to put this. Please don't forget, this is very important. If you leave it 6543, it will not work. Please make it 5432. Okay, and now let's actually write some code. So let's go to app and create a folder which we'll call API. And let's create another folder here that we call user. And inside user we create a new file that is called route.ts. So here we'll have a basic function that what it does, it actually gets the user ID from the auth from Clerk and verifies that this is an authenticated user. Yeah, nothing more, nothing less. We have here some imports that we still don't have in our code. Don't worry about it. We just need this function for later. Now let's go again to the API, and here we create another folder which is called webhooks. Remember, we were specifying our endpoint where we have webhook API / webhooks / clerk. So we're also gonna create clerk, and inside here we're gonna create again route.ts. So I'm gonna copy and paste the code and walk you through it step by step. Okay, let's get a little bit here. Let's go to the beginning. We still have some imports that we don't have. Don't worry about it. We'll figure it out just right now. Here we have the function to fetch Gmail token. Yeah, so we are using const OAuthentication token. We are waiting from clerk users. There is a built-in function get user OAuthentication token, and for this we need user ID. Yeah, and we are specifying auth Google. It's all in clerk documentation if you want to read it, right? Then if there is no token, we are erroring out, import null, and caching the errors. So what we are getting is authentication token. Then here is actually our webhooks. So we are sending a post request, some logs if there is no webhook secret that we have specified together with you. This is here. We are getting the webhook secret from our process in the Clerk Webhook secret. I showed you how to do it earlier. If there is no webhook secret, we error out. We are getting the headers from Swix. What it does, basically, it verifies that our request comes actually from our Clerk account, right? So then we are getting, if no headers, we error out. We are getting the body and verifying the payload from the headers of Swix. And then here we can start specifying the event types that we want to track. Okay, so also please do not forget, let's enter in new terminal and run npm install npm iswix. Perfect. Now what we specify here is that all the actions that I want to track. Specifically here I want to track user created, and for this I will need ID, email address, first name, last name, and image URL. Console log basic, if there is no email address or ID, we error out. And here we are trying catching to get the clerk user ID, which will be the ID, email we are getting from email addresses. Here we are basically saying that first name is optional, last name optional, image URL optional, and then also we are getting the Gmail access token. It depends if the users gave us the permission to retrieve it, because they will be asked at the beginning. So if not, we error out. And now here I have also a custom function for user deleted. Here I want to create such a soft delete that basically when a user deletes his account or her account, we do not erase them from the database immediately, but we just log the time, like the update time and the delete time, but we keep them in the database. Okay, so this is exactly the logic for it, and we are creating this user created, right? And if everything is successful, return webhook process successfully. Great. Okay, now let's actually cover Prisma. So we're gonna define our database schema using Prisma, and then we're also gonna specify explicitly which actions we will be tracking in lib users. Okay, so let's run npm install Prisma and add Prisma / client. Now let's run npm Prisma init. Okay, not this, maybe npx Prisma init, I think. Yes, great. And now what we are getting is a new folder Prisma with schema.prisma. So now I'm gonna copy and paste code to actually get our Prisma schema, and let's see what we do further, right? So I'm gonna walk you through it. The Prisma client JS from Prisma. Then we are specifying here the provider, which will be PostgreSQL. Supabase is based on the PostgreSQL, so we are specifying it. There is no specific provider as Supabase in Prisma. Then for URL, we are getting the database URL. For direct URL, we are getting the direct URL. Now, what about our model user, the object user that we're going to be creating? Is we're gonna fetch the ID, which will be a big int. It will be a default ID that is given by Supabase. Then we are getting the email, which will be string and unique. Gmail access token, also string. First name, last name, image URL will be optional. Clerk user ID, string, and date time from created at, updated at, and deleted at. Okay, before I forgot, let's actually go and create a new folder, which we'll call utils, and here we're gonna create a new file which will be supabase client.ts. So here we're just specifying basic Supabase client from the documentation, and let's also install this package. So we're gonna run npm I supabase.js. Great, now we specified our Prisma schema, we did our Supabase client. Let's go to our lib folder right here and create a file that we'll call prisma.ts. Here I'm gonna copy and paste code. This is the nice and correct way to specify Prisma, because what this code does, instead we are creating this global variable Prisma, which prevents us from creating a new Prisma client every time we run our application. So it will reuse the same Prisma client over and over again. And now let's also go and create another new file, which we'll call users.ts. So I'll copy and paste code and walk you through it. So here we specify exactly like the specific actions that we specified here that we would like to track, like for example, user deleted or user created. We're gonna all see it right here in a second. So let's go. First, we serialize the user because the Supabase is giving the ID as big int. We will be converting big int to string because JSON serialization doesn't work with big int normally, yeah, and we'll have some errors if we don't do it. Then we're gonna have this function for create user, which will get the data. We'll get as well the Gmail access token from our user that we already did the code for. Okay, and here is a function to create our user. So nothing special. We are doing Prisma user create. We are getting the data. We are getting the Gmail access token and moving forward. Now we are getting user by ID. Remember what we did here in user route.ts. This is exactly where we use it. And we are converting also big int and finding unique, serializing the user. Perfect. Now we go to update user. So here is nothing special. We just await Prisma user update, so it will give us the date time when the user updated the information. And soft delete user, where we are doing Prisma user delete. Yes, and we are getting the data point deleted add as new date. Perfect. Now, as we have it already, let's go and do npx prisma generate to generate the Prisma schema. And now let's go npx prisma db push. So as you can see, your database is now synced with your Prisma schema, generated Prisma. So let's go and actually see in our database, we'll have a table that is called user with ID, email, Gmail access token, first name, last name, and all the parameters that we specified. Great job, guys. So now let's do pretty much the last step. We're gonna create a new folder in our app folder. We call it utils. We're gonna create a new file which will be fetch Gmail token .ts, and I copy paste the code and walk you through it in a second. So here we are first verifying that user is authenticating and getting the token from Clerk. Now, if no tokens, then we error out. And we are fetching from API user, we are getting the headers with authorization bearer token. If response is not okay, then we error out. And at the end of the day, what we get is user response await response JSON. Perfect. So once again, how this whole system works. We go back to our route.ts. And here, as you can see, when the user is created, we are creating this user object and also fetching the Gmail using our function that we defined in fetch Gmail tokens that I showed you right now, in the past seconds. And then it goes here to user route.ts and basically gets the user by ID using Clerk so that we can verify it, and then using these functions that we defined just before, it gets the Gmail token. Then it goes into our users TS, and here it performs all the actions with Prisma. So via Prisma user create, Prisma user update, Prisma user delete. And we are getting our Prisma functions triggered, and they cause the changes in the database. So now let's actually go and test it. So let's just restart our servers. So let's run npm run dev. Let's go back and grab our domain right here, 3000. We go and access it. Okay, so we are on our page. Let's register. Okay, we are getting to our sign up page. Let's continue with Google. I'll select this one because it's the one that I allowed. Yeah, Google hasn't, that's exactly what I told you. You need to pass the verification, but here, because we are as test users, we can hit continue. And here we also allow them to view your email messages. Yeah. And we are landing on our dashboard. Great, so now let's actually go to our database and check. Bam, we have all the updates with ID, email, Gmail access token, first name. Here I didn't have last name, but you'll also get it. Image URL, Clerk user ID, created it and updated it. So now let's also delete our account. So we go to profile and we hit delete account. Let's write here delete account, and let's go to our database and see that we also got the deletion, so our soft delete function worked properly. So guys, it was a long video, but now you finished it. You learned how to connect your Clerk users with your database of choice, in this case with Supabase. You also learned how to fetch the Gmail OAuth authentication token, in this case for getting the Gmail data as a read-only for the emails. And yeah, I hope you learned a lot and now you can power your applications with this custom logic. So if you liked this video and learned something new, please hit this like button and subscribe to the channel. You can share this video with your friends. I will come back to you with a new video, with a new tutorial in around 3 to 4 days. So also during this time, make sure to check medical card on GitHub and start. Take care, guys. Bye bye.